Benjamin Netanyahu speaking at the United Nations.
Talking of Israel and the conflict that is now the Prime Minister of Israel, Benjamin Netanyahu, about to address the General Assembly. Let's listen in.
Ladies and gentlemen, order. Order, please.
What we're seeing, ladies and gentlemen, a lot of people walking out of the General Assembly, and the moment in which Benjamin Netanyahu walked in to address to give his address, perhaps a sign, a bit of taking of the temperature as to how that session of the world body feels about his presence right now.
We don't need to listen to what he said. That's really the main bit of it, isn't it? Everyone leaving. What do you think? Did you actually see his speech? What do you think about?
No. Please, I don't need to see his speech because he's just regurgitating the same shit over and over again. I don't need to see his speech, but I saw some worthwhile clips, and what was noticeable, and you know, my problem is coming after John. There is nothing funny to say about this. There is nothing funny about this in any way at all. I mean, one of the things that struck me was the racial divide, which is actually the historical divide that was noted by many people, including me. Most of the people who got up and walked out were brown and black. The people who stayed were the white nations, and that's not by coincidence. What you have is the people who have experienced colonization, who have experienced Holocaust and genocide, who are walking out because they know this shit and they know the shitheads who actually talk about this. And the people who stay there are the old imperial powers, not totally, but generally. Now let's just start thinking about what's going on here. You know how they always call Hezbollah Iran's proxy? You know, what we should actually be doing, if we unpick this, is calling Israel America's proxy, because that's what it is. Now, they play a game with us, and it's actually the same mind game that Netanyahu plays. You know how he has the nerve to stand there and talk about how he is wanting peace, how he's striving for peace, and all that nonsense you get about Israel being the victim. It's actually the same thing that America does. America says we are working every day, every night to get peace, while arming to the teeth the Israeli government. And they'll modify it a tiny bit, but let there be no mistake. However much we have certain people in certain positions of power, like this European guy came out recently and said, we have got no control on Israel. Well, he's right. Europeans haven't got control on Israel, but America does, because if it wanted to, and you get this again with the American press people when they're doing that thing, when they're talking to the administration and they say, well, we can't control Israel. Israel is a sovereign state and they have the right to defend themselves, as if they're going, yeah, this is a terrible amount of civilian death, but it's nothing to do with us. And we've told them, please, there's too many civilian deaths, you know, just try and get it down a little bit. If America wanted to, they could stop it tomorrow. Now, what you can say is that as a proxy, Israel is like the rabid dog of all proxies. I mean, I don't see Hezbollah behaving like this. This nonsense that the day after, you know, they actually attacked Israel on the 8th. They didn't attack Israel. They didn't attack Israel. They actually attacked occupied territory. I think it should have been part of Syria. Now, what we've got is a situation where in a year, I mean, I got these figures, and, you know, I'm not exactly sure if they're right, but we have in under a year, we have 2 million people or thereabouts have been moved from their homes. You know, not by Nasrallah, not by Hezbollah, but by Israel. We have, according to the most recent estimates from the last Lancet, something like 350,000 deaths that have occurred to this. Now, that is against, what is it? is it 1,200 or is it just 700 Israeli deaths that were caused by Hamas? You know, I'm not frightened of Hamas. I'm not frightened of Hezbollah. I am absolutely terrified of Israel, because it's Israel who's interfering in my politics at home. It is Israel that I'm forbidden to talk about. It is Israel that I can't actually say what I think about on this program, because I might get MI5 or whoever the fuckers are knocking on my door to put me away. Nobody is safe here. Jews certainly are not safe. You know, when you get these people posting up, now you see, they'll be really worried. They mess with any Jews and they hold up a picture of a corpse. This is what will happen if you mess with any Jews. Do you actually think that is going to make any Jew safer? That's not their interest here. And it terrifies me. It terrifies me that we can allow this nonsense drivel being talked about, and that our journalists are so complicit with this when they could take them down verbally so easy. Have a look at some of those press conferences in America and the kind of questions they ask. They might not get answers, but they know the questions to ask. Our questions are just pathetic. And then we have that parrot, that, you know, that besuited and bebooted parrot of Starmer, actually just mouthing the same drivel nonsense. No, we're in bad trouble. But if anybody thinks that killing the leadership of Hezbollah, that destroying Gaza is going to stop this, then you are mad, because I know what I would be doing if I was a Palestinian or a Lebanese. I wouldn't be there welcoming Israel with open arms.